I've got some more extreme budget meals. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing some delicious and easy budget meals for you guys. We already know what's going on right now. We're all just trying to focus on getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the table, whatever your case is, whatever meal you're needing. And so when I share these videos, they are realistic meals that are gonna feed your family. And then for me, I do try to add protein just because that's what my family likes. But of course, you alter it for whatever your family likes, whatever your family's needs are. If you are struggling with feeding your family, please reach out to your local 211, food banks, churches. Those services are out there to help you. So make sure you use those services, especially if you truly, truly need it. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I do have a budget meal playlist. If you are new here, I will have it linked down below for you guys. I share all kinds of easy and delicious budget meals that are going to feed your family. Let's go ahead and get cooking. We're going to do another budget meal. We have got this butterball turkey sausage. This is the cheapest for me in my area, so that's why I picked it up. You can use smoked sausage or just whatever your budget allows. I've got 2 boxes of these Parmesan cheese noodles. Y'all, I remember when these were $1. It is crazy how much, something so simple has gone up. And then I'm going to be using Members Mark broccoli because that's what I have on hand. But you can easily get a frozen bag of broccoli from Walmart for at least $1. And then, of course, the back of the package says butter. That's optional. You don't necessarily have to have it if you don't have it on hand. But for me, butter, margarine, I feel like everybody at least has some sort of a fat in your house. So just use either butter, margarine. You can even use a little bit of olive oil, regular oil, just whatever you have on hand. I feel like that's kind of one of those staple items. And then water, of course, and then it does call for a little bit of milk. If you don't have milk, you don't necessarily need it. Just replace it with water, but you can get like a little 14-ounce bottle of milk at Walmart for under $1.50. So if you are on extreme budget, just get a smaller amount depending on how much you need for your budget meal for the week, like budget meals for the week. But let's go ahead and make some lunch. I have just cut up my sausage and we're going to add that in. I've got a couple tablespoons of butter in there, and I'm just going to give it some color on both sides. We're going to go ahead and add in our 2 boxes of pasta, and then you can just follow the directions on the back. Or, like I said, you can just use the water. It's still going to turn out good. It's just not going to be like really, really creamy, but it's not necessarily needed. I just took and heated up my broccoli a little bit. That way I could cut it up into smaller pieces. And then I just added that in there and let it finish cooking while everything else was cooking. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. This was so good. And y'all, this made a ton of food. This would easily feed anywhere from 4 to 6 people. We have got another budget meal. Now this is one that I remember having as a kid. I'm probably changing it up a little bit what she did, but this is just what I'm going to be using. So we're going to use the Mexican style cornbread mix. I do remember her using this. Of course, the back calls for milk and egg. You don't necessarily have to have milk. You can use water and an egg. It's just not going to be, as good, but you don't have to. And then you're gonna need a taco seasoning. I have shared before how to find a cheaper taco seasoning. If you get the ones that are in the dry mix section, versus the Hispanic section. They're going to be cheaper. And then I'm going with the cheapest, which it has gone up quite a bit actually since I started doing these budget meals. But I'm going to use a ground turkey. You can use, you know, whatever you have on hand, ground beef, or if you like canned chicken, that's a good, you know, another cheap option. You can do canned chicken, just change up the protein of what you want. And then, of course, an egg for the mix. And then someone had commented on the last video and said that if you don't have an egg, you can use water and cornstarch. I have not personally tried that yet, but there was quite a few people that said that you can do that. So I might try to find like a link, and I'll have it linked down below for you guys for that. But I do have an egg, so I'm going to use an egg. And then, and you can also use applesauce in place of an egg as well. And then I'm going to use a can of corn, and I'm going to drain it. So let's get to cooking. First, I just took and cooked up the ground turkey, and then I'm going to add in the water and the taco seasoning packet. Now, if you have a well-stocked seasoning cabinet, you don't necessarily need to worry about getting a taco seasoning, and that's going to save you, you know, a few cents by not having to get that, and then you can just make your own with what you have in your cabinet. Now I'm just going to mix up that cornbread mix according to package directions. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our can of corn. I did drain that. I wanted to mention too that if you needed to really stretch this pound of turkey, you could easily add in a can of Rotel. You could add in maybe black beans or red beans or even chili beans, just whatever you had on hand or what you could afford. But that's going to be a cheaper option than you cooking an extra pound or so of meat. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put everything in a greased casserole dish. I'm going to put the meat mixture down first, and then I'm going to put the cornbread mixture on top. Now if you had it in your budget for cheese, then you could definitely put on some cheese in between these layers, and that's going to be really, really good as well, but that's just going to, of course, depend on your budget. I just baked this in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. Here's what it looks like when it is done. This was so good. It really did bring back memories. As soon as I ate a bite of it, I was like, yeah, I had this as a kid. So I served mine with some sour cream on top and some cheese. But like I said, that's just going to depend on your budget. But of course, you can top it with whatever you want. But this made a ton as well. This is easily going to feed about 4 to 6 people. And that's it, guys. That wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed these 2 super easy and delicious budget meal ideas. I hope it gives you some new budget meal inspiration. Just remember, it doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as your family is fed. That is all that matters. If you're having to eat budget meals right now, it is totally okay. I promise. From one mama to another, I promise it's okay. Fed is best. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.